गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. What is the type of meditation that must be pursued by us? For that, our scriptures say there are two types of seekers. The first one has, for a long period of time, lived a life of sense control and mind control. He has done Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. He has done all this for a long time. And when such a purified person, such a non-reactive person, when he comes to a satsang, it's like a dry twig to which a light is given. Immediately it catches fire, no smoke. Are we like that? Have we done any sadhana? No. And if so, that is one type of seeker. He has prepared himself, whether it was by the Lord's will, whether it was by his efforts, but he has come to that point where he is empty. What next? How do I convert this self that I am into an all-consuming experience? And when this idea catches the imagination of the mind, then nature will work to bring a teacher into such student's life in order for satisfying that urge, if we may say. But majority of us have not done any sadhana. By fluke, one day, like I know one person, he used to drink, he used to do every wrong thing that you can think of. And one day he got up, and from that day onwards, he stopped drinking, he stopped eating meat, and suddenly he was working somewhere in a restaurant, and one person came. He says, I don't know why, but I feel like doing something, giving you something. He did not understand why. Very next day, and that person opened his wallet, and along with the money that had to be paid, gave him a photograph of Shirdi Sai Baba. And within 1 week, because he was something shifted within him, no sadhana, he came to me. Then he studied asked me hundreds of questions. I answered. But how long can you keep answering questions? Then I told him, I'll answer questions if you read 5 verses of Gita every day and their meaning. So he read 5 verses and used to come till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning after work. He used to come and disturb me. And I also, for good 8 9 months, I gave him that time. And when he completed that, then the urge, because he was with it, then he went to an ashram in India, studied there. See? So are we one of those who one day we were just going about our duties, our work, our life, and suddenly we found this newfound enthusiasm and love for the Lord, and we started doing puja, we started doing japa, we started going to temples, we started sitting for meditation? Are we one of those? Or are we one of those who has systematically worked towards purifying themselves and then come to a satsang? Now you can see these two. Naturally, there is some difference in them. One has purified, the other has, as if, been plucked out of the world, and suddenly this urge to know himself or know God has appeared in him by grace. So those who prepare themselves, and it's they have done all the groundwork, they are called, according to the scriptures, krutopasti. They have done what was required to be done. And now they've got no doubts, they've got no issues, they've got no shortcomings, in the sense that they are not attracted by the world. When we hear people, when we hear people that, Swamiji, this all sounds good, but we have responsibilities. This is the other type, akrutopasti. Akrutopasti, suddenly this urge to know the truth, or suddenly, even if there is no urge, somehow they find themselves in a satsang and they start listening to the satsangs and they understand, Arey, wow, this is fantastic, man. And they really start enjoying it, enjoying the satsang, because it's bringing, for at least that 1.5 hours, 1 hour time, they feel at one with themselves. But the moment satsang is over, because they have not done any preparation like the previous fellow, the krutopasti fellow, the world takes control again, and then I have to do this, I have to do that, why this, and then there is a continuous struggle in the akrutopasti. Akrutopasti, the one who is not done anything to qualify himself to listen to the Upanishads or the texts like Amrit Anubhav or Vivek Chudamani, or which are talking about the truth. Somehow he finds himself there without any preparation. And we see, and so many people have prepared, so many people have come unprepared. See, the person who's prepared, when he listens to the satsang, bang, straight away the fire catches on, and he is able to understand or discover himself, realize himself. Why is it not happening to me? For the akrutopasti, the one who has not prepared himself, suddenly he found himself in a satsang. Someone gave a birthday book present and suddenly read this, oh my God, such beautiful thoughts, and it catches your imagination. But if that person, this akrutopasti, the unqualified or unprepared, that person finds it difficult to meditate. Listening is okay, but difficult to meditate, difficult to concentrate, difficult to becomes single pointed, difficult to understand also. It sounds nice, but difficult to understand, difficult to hold on to what was all said. You listen and you forget. When you try to remember what was told, can't remember. Akrutopasti. So, what will be the meditation of the first one who had prepared himself? His meditation, he has already done meditation. He had reached, he had purified his mind. Maybe he had come to Srivikalpa Samadhi or Nirvikalpa Samadhi. What does it mean? Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Nirvikalpa Samadhi means where you do not give any option to your mind. Do you give your option to the mind this morning? Am I awake or am I asleep? Did you give that option? You were awake. Are you giving the option to yourself? Am I in a satsang or not in a satsang? You are in a satsang. No option. Do you have an option? Are my eyes hearing or seeing? No option. They are seeing only. Why do you give yourself option? When we give our options, we are still in the mind. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Savikalpa Samadhi is where Dharana Dhyan. Dhyan leads to Savikalpa Samadhi. There we by choice choose one thought, one mantra, one idea, and we contemplate on it, chant it, and come to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You can come to Nirvikalpa Samadhi by mantra or by just watching the juncture of the in-breath and the out-breath and make the mind empty. There are many different ways to come to that point. Healthy ones are these two. But once I come to know that I got no option not to be. I have option to be a father, brother, sister, or son, but I got no option to be the man. I got the option to be a seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, thinker, but I got no option to be the one who is always. Then why this seeker, the Kritopasti, the prepared one who has come to this point, he understands he is. But when he comes out of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, not only understands, he has come to abide in himself, but it is temporary. Because when he comes out of the Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, again the wife says, hey, come on, go and do the shopping. Did you fill up the petrol in the car? Did you take the kids did you pack the bags or lunch boxes for the children? All the hell breaks loose after that. So, that wonderful abidance in the self or mergence in the self is suddenly lost. And this seeker, Kritopasti, the first one, is thinking, how can I make this wonderful, blissful experience of Samadhi, how can I make it 24/7? This thought, how to make it 24/7, will also come by grace of God only. It will not come by your own thinking. And then, by the grace, a teacher comes in such person's life. Vedanta comes in such person's life. How to make this I to be an all-pervasive I. And he's already prepared. Like this, it clicks to him. But we are not like that. We are the other type. We are the otherwise who are too smart for our own good. We think we have done everything in our life. We are in control. We have, made it in our life. We are a seeker. We are a meditator. But no preparation done. then what is the meditation that such an unprepared one must pursue in life? Because he has come to hear texts like Amrit Anubhav, he has come to hear the Vedanta without any preparation, that you are Brahman, Tattvamasi, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, Prajnanam Brahma, I am Atma Brahma, this Atma is Brahma. He understands, he knows that what is being told is the right. He gets a glimpse also because he is available to the teacher, he is available in the satsang. Oh, Swamiji, when we were in the satsang, when we were in the retreat, it was so wonderful. But after the retreat, that wonderful feeling lasted for 3-4 days, and after that, I need another satsang now. Can we have another retreat? Or can we have another satsang? This feeling, if it is coming, this is the second type, akritopasti. Why? Because we are not prepared. We are on an emotional roller coaster in a satsang. Feel good, feel good. It doesn't, feeling good will not take you to the reality, which you already are. Then what needs to be done? The scriptures say, Panchadashi says, there is a chapter on meditation. There it says there are two people and they are walking in the jungle, and one sees a diamond like shining thing far away, and another person also, they are not walking together, somewhere else, he also sees some shiny object far away. Both of them think that it is a diamond and they run towards it. One reaches, so both of them did not know what it was, both of them imagined it to be a diamond, both of them ran towards it. One reached that source of shine and found it was a lamp in a temple, no diamond. The other one ran, and when he reached, he found it was a diamond. So both of them started with ignorance. You understand what we are saying? Both of them started with ignorance. Whereas the previous one, the Kritopasti, the first person, not in this example, how I started the talk, the one who has prepared himself, he has the inkling of who he is. He has had the taste of being the I, being the self, without any hang-ups. That is Nirvikalpa Samadhi, without any hang-ups, options. But we who are akritopasti, without any preparation, we don't know who we are. We think we are the husband, wife, brother, sister, or we think we are the body, we are the senses, we are the mind, we are the past, we have a future, that we are born. We are the akritopasti. But somehow our ears have been exposed to Vedanta, and now suddenly we say, oh, life's purpose is to realize. I never knew. Because you did not know doesn't mean that self is not there. But because I went to a satsang and it sounded right, and little bit intelligence is there, I pursue it. Do I know what I am pursuing? No, I don't know what I am pursuing. But because scriptures are saying, teacher is saying, okay, let me pursue. Just like those two people in the jungle, out of ignorance they pursued the source of light. One reached, but he did not get the diamond. The other went and he got the diamond. So both began with ignorance. So this akritopasti fellow, who we are, if we have not prepared ourselves before being exposed to Vedanta, We are out of ignorance because we don't know the self. We are running towards what the scriptures are telling us to realize. See? And where is ignorance? It's only in the mind. The pursuit, the seeking is only in the mind. It is not in the self. See, one kid was there when we were young, and this small baby, when he was so notorious in the house, you can't believe it. He'll break, smash, oh, terror. And somehow the mother used to put him to sleep, spend 1 hour with him, lie in the bed. Many times the mother used to go to sleep and he will walk out again. Other times she will think that he is sleeping and she leaves him, comes out, and within 3-4 minutes again this fellow is coming out. This is our mind. Never at rest. Never at rest. Whose mind? Akritopastis. The unprepared ones. So, what is the meditation that an unprepared one must pursue? Yes, all that is okay. He should do yoga, this, that, and prepare the mind. But more importantly, this person must meditate on the Brahman. Why he should meditate on Brahman? On the Nirgun Nirakar. You can, of course, you can meditate on the form of the God. No doubt about it. You can. And then come to the formless, attributeless reality. Then why should we meditate? Because ultimate goal is the attributeless, formless reality. And that is my nature. That is who I essentially am. I have to discover that. What do you discover? Are you creating realization, or are you discovering that you are already that which you are seeking? That fellow who ran after the diamond thinking it was that light, source of light, thinking it was diamond, did he know diamond was there? No. But was diamond already there? Yes. Is our mind running after the self? Yes. Has it realized? Has the mind realized? No. Can the mind realize? No. Is the self already there? Yes. See? So this journey is of the mind. And every journey begins only in ignorance. It doesn't begin with realization. Because journey is in the phenomena. See? And then, but how will I come to realize? How will I come to realize that I am the Brahman? It is without any form, it is without any attribute, it is without any qualities. How will I come to know it? Expose ourselves to the satsang, because it is not something that needs to be known like I am knowing you who are there in the picture in front. This is a knowing less knowing. It is an experience less experience. How will it happen? Will it ever happen to me? Is it not that in our life till today we have practiced many things? We did not know what ABCD was, but we practiced and became proficient at it. We did not know what mathematics was. We learned the tables. Physics, chemistry, we studied, we applied, and for the passing the exam, we did well. You did not know what a married life like is, but you got married, you applied yourself in the relationship and you have a good relationship. You had no experience of what being a mother is, but you gave birth to a child and you learnt all the ropes and you became a mother. The motherhood expressed out of you naturally. So whenever we apply at consistently towards something, our experience of life shows that we merge into that whatever, whether it is a role, whether it is waking, dream, or sleep. We don't create sleep, we don't create dream, we don't create waking, they happen. Similarly, we will not be creating realization. Realization will happen. Then what needs to be done? Continuous thought application. In and through all the circumstances or on the seat of meditation, having this disposition that the consciousness I am the infinite consciousness, Aham Brahmasmi. And how can I come to know that I am Brahmasmi? Only by removing that I am not. The child body was there, but child body went away, I was still there. Teenage body went away, I was still there. Middle-aged body came and went, I am still there. Now old body is there, I am still there. When this body goes away, I will be still there. Waker came and went, I was still there. I know waking happened yesterday. Dream experience came and went, I am still there. Sleep experience came and went, I am still there. So whatever comes and goes, recognize and don't give it attention. And shift the attention to that one who has never come and gone. That is Aham Brahmasmi we are talking about. See? So who is Brahman? What is the reality? What is pure consciousness? What is the truth? It is the permanent principle. Don't seek it, be it. And to be it so that it reveals itself, it's a discovery. Just like that person ran in ignorance but discovered the diamond which was already there. So you are on the seat of meditation, you are doing contemplation, and you will discover yourself to be Brahman because you already are. See? And in that process, now if I am not the body, I am not the senses, I am not the thoughts, but I am thinking thoughts, what will it be like? So instead of thinking continuously, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, one time you do it. It takes 2 seconds, half a minute to 1 minute to do that. I am not the body, I am not the breath, I am not the mind, I am not the thoughts. More important than that is, then what will be the experience, what will be the disposition of the Brahman or the reality or the self which is free of conditionings of the body? What will be the experience like? Wave is thinking, what will be the experience if I am water? And you start thinking that way. Another example, space is thinking that what will be the experience the pot space is thinking about the total space. What will be the experience of the total space which supports the whole universe but is not destroyed by the universe, which is not conditioned by the universe? Right now, as a akrutopasti, unprepared one, we are thinking as an individual. And here the teacher, the scripture is saying that you start thinking from the come to this point and start thinking what will be the take of the reality, or what will be the take of the space when it is looking at everything. What will be the take of water when it is looking at all the waves? What will be the take of reality when it is looking at the whole world? Think. From water's point of view, there is no world of waves. From space point of view, there is nothing called air, fire, water, earth. From gold point of view, there is nothing called ornament. From sleep point of view, there is nothing called waking world or dream world. Exactly the same way. From the reality point of view, there is only reality, and this will become your natural disposition, natural expression, natural knowing, because that is what you always are. Tattvamasi. So let's take this point, that is, what will be the take of space with regards to everything that is contained within the space? Does it get disturbed by the space? Does it get does all that is contained in the space, does it disturb the space? Appearance and disappearance of the whole cosmos, does it add anything to the space or subtract anything from the space? If the answer is no, then appearance of thought and disappearance of thought must not disturb the self. Remain in that disposition. Appearance of the world, waking and dream; disappearance of the world, deep sleep. Let these three states come and go. Phenomena you cannot stop. We begin thinking like this, but once, if you don't think about the waking, dream and deep sleep. Once you have thought about it, discard it, because it's coming and going. But there is someone who is continuously present. Be that one. And by continuous practice, again and again and again and again, and one day it clicks. How does it click? I'll give you two examples and then we'll stop. You practice and practice and practice and practice learning to cycle, and one day it clicks and you start cycling. You get the balance. First example, it's a click, but it clicks only to those who pursue it with faith. Second example, you get into the water, drink lot of water while learning to swim, but one day it clicks how to float. And you can never forget cycling after that. You can never forget swimming after that. Even after 10-15 years, you go back into the swimming pool, you will start swimming. Exactly the same way. Once, by continuous application, continuous contemplation on the self as the self, uddharet atmana atmanam. One day when it, by God's grace, it clicks, after that we continue to live. We continue to play the roles. No, but not at the expense of the truth. Not at the expense of the essence. Not at the expense of the self. So, close your eyes. or keep them open, doesn't matter. And nobody in this creation can tell you that you are realized. If you are eating food, and when are you satisfied, nobody can decide for you. Only you can decide that I am satisfied. Similarly, the realization, only you know when you are content. Only nobody else can ever. Scriptures can give the symptoms and all that, but they say we can only do this, but we have got no jurisdiction on the person who is abiding in the self.